Can I come in now?
Oh, God.
No, we said 20 minutes. I'm not done my beach day
That's
yet.
what I love most about her. You know, she isn't just one thing. So much larger than that.
In 2017, we faced the end of a decade-long franchise that, for some of us, defined our childhood and created a never-before-seen visual representation of the dangerous, the adventurous, and disease-ridden antics of... Nope, not that one. Pirates of the Caribbean, or Caribbean? The fifth movie came out in the Pirate series, a series that in my opinion had one of the best trilogies ever put to film. And yes, I will fight you on that. And it's definitely an interesting end to Jack Sparrow's story. No, I can't do another. I can't do another. Oh my gosh, my head feels weird, dude. What just happened? Sorry guys, What is that? What is that? Oh my god! Ah! Unlike the first four films in the franchise, Dead Men Tell No Tales is kind of like a mini reboot in of itself, focusing on brand new protagonists, but thankfully, the legendary Captain Jack Sparrow is of course still in this movie, played by none other than Amber Heard's ex-husband. Oh! Ew! And compared to the original trilogy, this movie, for lack of better words, also shit the bed. I wouldn't say there's no good parts in the movie because there definitely is. It's just mainly Jack being Jack and some exciting practical stunts they had that actually opened the movie. But since Johnny Depp is the centerpiece of the Pirates franchise, I'm surprised that his quippy one-liners and his lucky compass couldn't steer them out of obscurity. Personally, a reason I don't believe I remember this movie at all is because it came out some random day in 2017 with little to no marketing, a running theme in Disney nowadays, and the fact that I didn't even know it existed until I was having a Pirates marathon last year, and then after World's End, I realized it wasn't the end, which I wish it was. But apart from childhood nostalgia and being way past its prime, why didn't this movie work? Well, Preston, I'm glad you asked. This is like 2 feet over from where I just was standing and filming. I don't have a very big apartment, guys. But let's go back to 2003. An amazing year for movies. Dozens of critically acclaimed films coming out back to back. Not even one bad movie. Not one. But let's focus on Disney. They were pretty much in their prime before the reboot and remake renaissance that we find ourselves in today. The first Pirates film became a defining moment for the company, as the first PG-13 film that ever released, and proving that originality is necessary to tell good stories. Nevertheless, it propelled this franchise to the forefront of Hollywood, where we follow the whimsical, action-packed adventures of our main protagonists throughout 3 revolutionary movies, as they executed a well-thought-out story and completed their arcs, no matter how bittersweet they may be. The way it ended was like a giant sigh of relief. Until 4 years later, when Disney decided they wanted to create 2 more films that only exist because Johnny Depp's schedule was empty. The 4th film, On Stranger Tides, was originally developed to be a standalone film outside of the original trilogy, even though it included some of the main characters, like Jack Sparrow, but without Will or Elizabeth, which honestly didn't make the movie any worse. But even with the story including a ravenous Blackbeard and a female Jack Sparrow, the reception was mid. This should have told them that they were past their prime, and that bringing back the magic of the original trilogy can't be done when you're being so campy and forcing these movies to come out every few years to people that don't even care about the franchise anymore. But that brings me to my main question. Why does no one remember the 5th movie? The production of this film wasn't that typical, as during the release of On Stranger Tides, they actually told the cast and crew to set aside time in their schedules for the future to film 5 and 6 back to back, because apparently Dead Man Tells No Tales was supposed to be the beginning of another series, or trilogy, or whatever they had in mind, but I'm sure they just wanted a lot of money. But seeing as there was a 5-year gap between the movies and they only made one of them, I'm pretty sure the idea did not go as planned. With a returning writer and a new director after the original director of the trilogies responded with, "There's no reason to make these movies besides financial," which, duh. In typical Disney fashion, they fired the writer and postponed the movie until a new script was greenlit in 2014. So, let's get into it. The movie opens on Will Turner's and Elizabeth Swann's young son, Henry, as he attempts to drown himself and finally meets his dad on the Flying Dutchman. When they meet, Henry promises to break his curse of the Flying Dutchman by finding the Trident of Poseidon, which is the biggest retcon I've ever seen, because it apparently holds every curse of the sea. So I guess just no one thought of that beforehand. Okay, cool. And for some reason, even though Will literally has barnacles on his face like a teenager with acne, and have a whole crew of dead people that live underwater, he tells him it's not real. Okay, buddy, why would you doubt anything anymore? So Henry finally gets the hug he never had as a child, and they go their separate ways. We catch up with Henry 9 years later as a sailor of the Royal Navy, where he uses his insane plot armor to be the sole survivor of an ambush by a crew of Spanish ghosty boys, which actually shows one of the strengths in the series. Absolutely dope visual effects. Nice. We then find ourselves with our other new protagonist, Karina, a mildly annoying, strongly spoken astronomer. She's currently being imprisoned for her amount of cringy lines she delivers throughout the film. No, I wish that was true. It's actually because she's a woman and she's smart and they think she's a witch. Thankfully, this wispy storyline is pulled together by an amazing introduction by none other than Captain Jack Sparrow and his crew as they steal an entire building through an amazing practical stunt that actually was really entertaining. Which of course we can all expect didn't go right for them, leading to one of Jack's amazing, super well thought out escapes. Oh, okay. Well, that was more of an accident, and his right leg is definitely 2 inches longer than his left now. Physics and Fast 5 references aside, it wasn't the worst scene. It just was nothing compared to what we see in Dead Man's Chest, the second movie, for those iconic practical stunts that I still think about today when I think about the Pirates movies. After losing all the money they tried to steal, his crew, who has been with Jack through insane circumstances, decides to abandon him. Get this. Because he's unlucky.
Are you sure about that?
Are we talking about the same Jack? The Jack that just did this? So starting off, it already shows us that Jack's character isn't as clever as we've come to know him in previous movies, and he's just kind of a different person than we've ever experienced, which isn't inherently bad. You can do that to a character if you're going to redeem them, but he never gets redeemed. The movie's not really about him. He doesn't have an arc at all. But after this, we get back to our new protagonists, who have a meet cute moment, because it wouldn't be a Disney movie unless there was an enemies to lovers heterosexual relationship. So okay, get it over with. And just like that, we get hit with one of the best lines in the movie, as all smart women say to incompetent men.
Been seeing no red by any man.
Luckily I'm a woman.
Perfection. But I'll forgive this. I will not forgive Jack hitting rock bottom and trading his compass for a bottle of rum. Sure, bottle of rum is in character for him. His compass? The thing he's had for like 30 years?
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!
Now, I know this is used to show how far the character has fallen, but man, he's been eaten by a damn kraken, came back from the dead, and defeated almost every insanely powerful pirate on the sea. And he can't figure out how to get the black pearl out of this little bottle? Or just steal the rum? Okay, fine, sorry, I know, plot needs to happen. But apparently giving away this compass or betraying it broke the curse on Salazar, the ghost captain, who actually was a pirate hunter in his past life that has a vendetta against Jack. But okay, why is the compass important? But whatever, he hates pirates as much as I hate live action remakes, and Henry goes to warn a newly arrested Jack about Salazar coming after him. Thankfully, after all this, we cut to Barbossa rolling in the dough after he got Blackbeard's magical sword in the 4th movie. So if you haven't seen that one, you're probably really confused, but he's looking good in his new wig. But as he visits a real witch, or as we would call her today, a TikTok influencer, he's warned about Salazar coming after pirates all across the sea, and is given Jack's compass that... How'd she get?
I have my ways.
Oh, cool. Thanks. Thank you. But with this information, Barbossa decides to go make a deal with Salazar. And next, during the dual execution of Corinna and Jack, the crowd of 1,000 is really nice, as they don't talk over any of their lines. But before anyone finishes the job, they get saved, because we still have over an hour left of this movie. And damn it, okay, I know I've been critical before, but this scene was actually super fun. It brought back a lot of the charm from the original movies with these like physics-defying scenes, so... okay, I'll give him that one. But after they get back on the sea, we come back to Barbossa, still going wrong as he's getting slapped around by our tap-dancing ghosty boy, eventually agreeing to find Jack for him. And finally, we're given the backstory to Salazar and his crew, and what happened to them and why they hate Jack so much, through a flashback, where Salazar and his crew were a Spanish fleet of pirate hunters that took down countless pirate ships, until a deepfake AI-looking Jack Sparrow tricked him and caused the ship to crash into the Devil's Triangle, which apparently cursed them and made them ghosts, but there's no real explanation, so I don't know why I expect answers. I'm definitely reading into this more than the writers did. Back in the present, the ghost crew catches up to Jack's ship, and in the last chance effort to save his crew, the three of our protagonists decide to take a rowboat to shore, which honestly leads to one of the funniest scenes in the whole movie. I was cracking up watching this.
Swim for it.
Karina, stop that.
No, don't stop that.
This has gone far enough.
No, it has not.
I saw her ankles.
We go back to our characters having to escape the villains by getting on dry land because they can't walk on land. They can only be on water. Wait, didn't we already do this before?
Oh no, this can't be.
Fine. They escape into a random island and their main threat and fall headfirst into their second biggest threat, marriage. Yep, that's right. We get to live out inbred-esque wedding for Jack Sparrow since the writers didn't know how to pad the runtime anymore. But thankfully, before anything happens, he's saved by his true love interest, Barbossa. One thing I'll say about this movie is that even though they were able to create the villain to be so ruthless and unlikable despite his lack of motivations, it doesn't matter, as Jack, the character that we're all really watching this movie for, is nothing like himself. Literally every situation Jack escapes from or comes out on top of is a mistake. Like, a huge part of his character is getting lucky, but it's only after he's clever enough or shows clear action towards that goal. But in this case, he accidentally waits too long and then falls through the boat and then has to use the hook to defend himself, which happens to catch the mouth of the shark, and then it pulls him in. Cool, great scene. Not accurate. Something more true to his character is just pushing Henry in and having him swim for his life as he hooks the shark and make him chase Henry to pull him in the shore without lifting a finger. Anyway, back to the movie. The power couple team up and get back the Black Pearl. Almost. There we go. And with the whole crew back together, we get some time with our characters where we actually learn a really huge development. Something I didn't mention is that Karina, the astronomer, was left at an orphanage as a baby, and the only thing she had was a special journal about the trident and how to find it, as well as a special ruby on top of the journal left by her father that she did all this for. She wants to find a thing he never could, something he loved, blah blah blah. Yeah, here's the part that matters. Barbossa isn't only Jack's daddy. Nope, he's the actual father of Karina. And his realization of this decades later kind of humanizes his character, and I don't hate the direction they go with this. It's cute, but it's kind of really lucky that the one person that was on the boat is the one person that he gave away so many years ago, but it's a movie. And honestly, it seems unlikely this is his only kid out there. I mean, he's a pirate, and this time of age, the only protection they thought of was having a sword next to the bed. But this one's special. Fine. But after this revelation, we see the ghost crew go all Monster House on the Navy ship and then quickly find the Black Pearl and board it. Can I just say how boring it is to have a villain that you can't hurt? Like, honestly, it is a running theme in this series to have a villain you can't hurt or kill until you break the curse and then you can take care of them easily. But usually it's fine because the heroes can outmaneuver or outrun them. But even with the Black Pearl and Barbossa's magic sword, they still get taken over easily, and the only reason they survive is because they have to ram the Black Pearl onto land because the ghosts can't follow them there. So relying on this dumb luck just gets boring real quick. Like, honestly, how dope would it have been? They already had Will come back. Why not have the Flying Dutchman come up out of nowhere and have them fight and hold off the ghost crew so that our protagonists could go to the island and try to find the trident? That would have been so dope in a quick little scene. I mean, the undead versus the undead. Easy. So dope. But instead, they find the island they're looking for by following the stars because I guess subverting expectations just isn't popular anymore. Hi. I just wanted to change the scenery a little bit. Also, yes, am I being probably way overcritical of this movie? Sure. Do I care? Nah. So they find the island where her ruby came from. Hers is the last piece of the puzzle that opens up the ocean and reveals Poseidon's trident. Okay, but apparently Barbossa, her father, gave her this book, and he had the ruby and the journal to find the trident that breaks all sea curses. Like the curse he had the entire first movie? I'm doing it again. I'm reading way too far into this. Anyway, they go after the trident, but Henry, who I forgot was even still in the movie, got captured by Salazar during their attack and is possessed by him. But before Salazar possesses the body, he's told when ghosts possess people, they can't get out of their bodies ever unless he has the trident. How do you know that? You were in a cave until a week ago in the beginning of this movie. Did you get a script that explains why the compass matters and the rules of being a ghost that we didn't see? So after a sword fight on a blue screen, Salazar wins and gets the trident and goes after Jack with some water bending. And luckily for us, Henry and Karina finally understand the saying behind the trident and realize that all curses are held inside it, so they gotta break it to end all the curses. So they do it!
That was easy.
And of course, Salazar and his men all turn back to humans, which I don't understand because weren't they just dead? Wouldn't the curses keeping them alive as ghosts, not alive as humans, you know? So whatever. The real issue now is how are they gonna escape from the bottom of the ocean? Well, don't worry about that because my main man Barbossa comes through with the save again, coming down on Black Pearl's anchor to pull them back up. But damn if Salazar ain't nothing but persistent. But as they're going up, Karina falls and is caught by Barbossa, where she discovers that Barbossa is her father because he has the same tattoo in his arm that she had on her book from her father. So the dots get connected, and damn it, you know what, this is a cute scene because Barbossa sacrifices himself to take down Salazar and save her and let them get to the surface, and I love him. But as they get back to the ship, she takes the name Barbossa. Actually a pretty cute moment, even though it was pretty obvious that it was coming. They go back home and Will finally returns from the Flying Dutchman, barnacle free, and we get a surprise cameo by Keira Knightley. So this ending, okay, I'll give it to them. It was pretty cute. And it officially ties the knot on their piece of the puzzle, which I kind of like the tragic love lost story they had going from the third movie, but sure. But Jack finally reunited and back on top with the Black Pearl and his crew. They sail off into the sunset. I'm back here again. Now, it is difficult for me to point out things I didn't like in this movie. It's not lost on me the crazy amount of work that goes into making a film, no matter how good or bad it is. And I mean, the costumes, the sets, the VFX, the stunts, the acting, it is all exactly what you would expect from a movie of this caliber in this franchise. It's just a script, and the idea of continuing the series itself was inherently flawed. I, for one, love the Pirates franchise. Do you literally see the Mickey ears that I have? No joke, I'll go on the ride at Magic Kingdom at least 5 times in a row if I can. It's a warm, enjoyable, close-to-home series that holds up to the sands of time, despite mistakes made in this movie. And if it takes making a satirical commentary video about it, so be it. But also, please let me into your park and give me fast passes to all your rides. Thanks. And finally, the answer we've all been waiting for, the 3 reasons that no one remembers this movie. First and foremost, it came out too late. After 15 years, these characters still coming back to play these roles is great. It's just the timing isn't. The original fans grew up and moved on, and the atmosphere and direction of Disney in 2017 is nothing compared to how it was in 2003. And it was obvious that the care and time given to the other sequels wasn't given to this one. The second reason is that it didn't do anything new. Everyone who loved Jack already deeply understood the character, and if anything, this movie just made him less of himself. He felt like a caricature, a prop necessary to get eyes on the project, but the project just wasn't for him. And finally, a lesson Disney needs to learn is that all good things come to an end. But when you extend that end, it doesn't make the satisfied fans any happier or make the completed story any better. It just shows that you care about one thing: money. But thank you guys all for watching this longer video. I really enjoyed watching this movie, and I might just have a marathon of all the pirate movies again, honestly. But make sure to subscribe, like, leave a comment down below which your favorite movie is out of the 5, and if you guys actually like the 5 and disagree with any of my points, or if you agree, tell me what things you didn't like about the 5th movie. But, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching.